We are sure that there's life outside of the Earth, but to really prove it, NASA has developed this new laser technology that might be able to help in the search mission. Hey guys, welcome to our channel, Fast Forward. In today's episode, we are going to tell you about NASA's new laser technology that is going to find aliens. Let's dig in. NASA's new laser technology, called the Interstellar Mapping and Acceleration Probe, or IMAP, is a space probe that will use lasers to study the interstellar medium, the matter and radiation that exists in the space between stars. One potential application of this technology is the detection of alien civilizations, as the probe will be able to detect laser signals emitted by other civilizations. However, it should be noted that the primary purpose of the IMAP mission is to study the interstellar medium, and the detection of alien civilizations is not its main focus. But now, researchers are more concerned about figuring out what strange things are present on other planets and looking for signs of life on them. But they also had to fit everything into a package that was small enough and light enough to be carried to those other worlds by spacecraft that only had a certain amount of resources. They did this by making a system smaller that was originally available for use in the market and is now used in labs all over the world. Over the course of 8 years, scientists built a system that is only 17 pounds and is made up of 2 instruments that can be used to study planets in other solar systems. The first is an ultraviolet laser that can remove tiny amounts of material from a sample, and the second is an analyzer called Orbitrap that can analyze the chemical makeup of that material. Ricardo Arevalo, who wrote the article and is the associate professor of geology at the University of Maryland, said in a statement that the Orbitrap was built with the idea that it would be available in the market. You could find them in the research facilities and pharmaceutical, medical, and proteomic industries. One of them weighs just under 400 pounds and is in my lab, so they are pretty big. It took us 8 years to build a prototype that would be used effectively in space. It is much smaller and uses a lot less power, but it can still do cutting-edge research. The people who made it say that the smaller version should be able to be stored on a spaceship, and it will use very little energy, so it won't put extra stress on the spacecraft's power sources and batteries. This way of analyzing things is also less invasive than other ways, so there is less chance that samples will be tainted. Using a laser source for analysis is helpful because you can look at anything that can be ionized, Professor Arevalo says. If we point our laser beam at the piece of ice, we should be able to look at its composition and find signs of life in it. Because this instrument has such a high mass resolution and accuracy, it is much easier to find any molecular or chemical structures in a sample. Scientists also think that using this new technology will help them find bigger and more complicated compounds, any of which could be a stronger sign of extraterrestrial life. Existing technology has shown that it can find smaller chemicals, like amino acids. However, it is still unclear how reliable these results are as proof of life on other planets. Amino acids can be made without living things, which means that their presence doesn't always mean that there is life. Professor Arevalo says that amino acids can be brought to the surface of a planet when meteorites, many of which are full of amino acids, crash into it. We now know that bigger, more complicated molecules like proteins are more likely to have been made by living systems, or to be related to them. This is because it takes more energy to make molecules that are bigger and more complicated. We can use the laser to look at a bigger, more complicated organic molecule, which can reflect biosignatures more accurately than smaller, simpler molecules. Nature Astronomy has a paper about the work called Laser Disruption Mass Spectrometry with an Orbitrap analyzer for in situ astrobiology. Arevalo went on to say that the new laser device could make a big difference in how we study the geochemistry and astrobiology of a planet's surface right now. Researchers who made the new technology think that it will be used in space at some point in the not-so-distant future. Research from the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory shows that Saturn's moon Enceladus, which is small compared to the planet itself, would be a great place to look for signs of life. Instruments from NASA wouldn't have much trouble getting through a warm ocean that flows under its surface, and could have a lot of different biomarkers. Experts from all over the world are interested in the fact that biomarkers have been found on the surface of a number of celestial bodies in recent years. Biomarkers, however, are biological molecules or other characteristics that can be used as an indicator of a specific biological or pathological process. They can be used in a variety of ways, such as in medical diagnoses, disease prognosis, and treatment monitoring. In the context of astrobiology, biomarkers refer to any substance or feature that might indicate the presence of past or present life on other celestial bodies, such as planets, moons, or asteroids. These biomarkers could include signs of liquid water, specific gases in the atmosphere, or certain types of organic compounds on the surface of the celestial body. The search for biomarkers is an important aspect of the search for extraterrestrial life. The European Space Agency, or ESA, says that in 2017, scientists found a compound on a comet that could be a sign of life. In 2021, researchers did a study that was published in the International Journal of Astrobiology. They found that fungal biomarkers were still present on rocks from Mars after they had been in low orbit for more than a year. On the other hand, there is no set list of things that can be called biomarkers. A study that came out in 2015 in the journal Scientific Reports called into question the idea that oxygen is an essential sign of life on extrasolar planets. This study suggests that oxygen is not necessarily a definitive biomarker of extraterrestrial life, as it could also be produced through non-biological processes. These studies suggest that other biomarkers, such as the presence of significant organic compounds, could be more reliable indicators of life on other planets. Oxygen is a highly reactive gas that is typically only found in high concentrations in the presence of life, as it is produced by photosynthetic organisms. However, the study suggests that other processes, such as photochemical reactions in the atmosphere or interactions between the atmosphere and the planet's surface, could also produce oxygen. Therefore, the presence of oxygen alone would not be enough to confirm the presence of life on a planet. It is important to note that the study is not saying that oxygen is not a biomarker at all, but rather it is suggesting that other biomarkers should be taken into account, and that oxygen is a necessary but not sufficient condition to confirm the presence of life. Well, IMAP has the capability to detect laser signals emitted by other civilizations, which could potentially be a sign of alien life. However, it is important to note that the primary purpose of the IMAP mission is to study the interstellar medium, not the detection of alien life. Additionally, the chances of finding evidence of extraterrestrial life through this method are uncertain and would depend on a variety of factors, including the proximity and technological capabilities of any potential alien civilization. As of now, NASA has not found definitive evidence of extraterrestrial life. The search for alien life is an ongoing effort by NASA and other organizations. NASA's current and past missions have focused on searching for signs of past or present life on Mars and other celestial bodies, as well as searching for biosignatures, or indicators of life in the atmosphere of exoplanets. However, none of these missions have discovered definitive evidence of extraterrestrial life. The detection of alien life, if it exists, is considered as a long-term goal and a great challenge for scientists and researchers. Moreover, the question of whether or not aliens exist is a topic of ongoing scientific debate and investigation. There is currently no definitive evidence of extraterrestrial life, but many scientists believe that the likelihood of life existing elsewhere in the universe is high given the vastness of the universe and the number of potentially habitable planets. However, the absence of evidence doesn't necessarily mean evidence of absence. We just haven't found any evidence yet, and the technology that we have today may not be sufficient to detect alien life. Additionally, the possibility of the existence of extraterrestrial life forms with intelligence still remains a topic of speculation and scientific inquiry. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Stay tuned for more wonderful stuff, and don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our recent updates. Thank you for watching.